Welcome everyone back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing absolutely splendidly. A little bit of an al fresco video. So if you are new around here, smash that like button, smash that subscribe, give it the love it deserves. We're going to go through and react to the Carlton fixtures, and we've created a new thing. We've got Pommy's predicted score. So we're going to have a look at it and just to have a little running catchment. We've tried to be fair. We've tried to have a bit of a laugh. And I thought what would be good is the secret of good gambling is going with gut. So I thought let's crack straight into it. Go with gut, no thinking. And later on down the track, we'll do some analytics and we'll get really into like the meats and guts of it. So let's get straight into it because I froth stuff like this. You know I do. So this is how we start, right? We're away to the Tigs. Then we've got Geelong, GWS, and North Melbourne. So the asterisks, that denotes an away game. So I have looked at this, and I think that 2 out of 4 here is pretty gravy, if you know what I'm saying. I think that that's where Carlton needs to be looking. And really focusing on that and trying to get in that kind of avenue. I think, who do I think he'll beat there? That's a tough one, isn't it? Like that's conjecture. But for me, this is what Carlton have got to look at in this avenue. And I would think 2 out of 4 is bare minimum, right? Pom's predicted is there. That's like the par score. Let's say, call it Pom's par score. There we are. That's a bit of a golf analogy for you. That's what I'm going with. So Geelong tough. But what I really like about these games is, for me, GWS are kind of that side that you're probably thinking 14-8, dependent. I mean, I would say bottom end. I have them just mentally 13th, 14th. I think they may struggle this year. But with them first 2 fixtures, what you've got there is you've got a real opportunity for Carlton football to really stack up against the best side in the comp. I think everyone would agree in Geelong. Richmond are a really tough customer, and I think they're going to come back with a bang. You get them kind of like question marks about your football club, and then 3 and 4 are where you can really ingrain that. And I felt like we missed an opportunity last year where you saw there was like a rolling evolution with the real heavy contested stuff to try and get an outside game, and then maybe injuries curtailed that. Don't quite know what happened halfway point, but my mind here with the par score is Geelong are really good. Richmond are really good in 2017 of building their way into the league. So we want kind of like how we performed last year, flipped. You want to come home with a wet sail. You don't want to start with a wet sail and then burn all your expend all your energy. You look at the mirror on Collingwood. Do you know what I mean? They had so much energy at the last season, at the end of the season, where they could just usurp teams. And that's what Carlton need to do. So I think this is a real good start for the boys. 4 games here where you can really test your strategy, test your tactics, and by round 3 go, right, well, this is what we've learned, because these 2 sides here, you have to beat to win a flag. 1 and 2, you're going to have to beat Richmond and Geelong. So then it's structuring your game plan. So when you meet them again, when it's a final, you've got that licked. Then we head on to this bit here, and I've got 3 out of 4. Again, Pom's par score is 3 out of 4. I want 4 out of 4 out of everyone. That's a little spoiler, but this is it. You've got the gather round, an away game. Going to be interesting because I don't count away games for Carlton because Carlton have such a raucous fan base that everywhere is technically home. We're really well carried. It's going to be a tough one, this, because I think Adelaide are going to surprise a few people. That I was hot on them last year. I think, again, I really like them. St Kilda, I'd expect us to beat. No disrespect to them. And the Eagles, I'd definitely expect us to beat. 3 out of 4 here. Brisbane's been the test. But this is what I was saying about them first 2 fixtures. You've got fixtures after that, 5 of them, where you can really harness that game plan. And whatever you were missing and getting killed on by them, you can really work towards it. I would take against North, Carlton maybe give up a bit of the ball to work on their transition. If the transition is an issue, like it was last year, really lick it in game. Really lick it in game and go, you know what? Let's take a bit of the pressure off the forward half and really see what our rebound is like. Or let's really maximize it. If it's our forward pressure and we're getting killed, and we often get killed by halfbacks, don't we? Let's set ourselves a target. We're going to have no more than 20 points come from North on rebounds. And then you just really lick that moving in, getting progressively harder. So you get another test, another top 4 side in Brisbane. So it's a really good draw in that avenue. I really like Carlton's draw. I think it's middle of the road, easy. But you've got to beat these teams. Do you know what I mean? I don't buy in to easiness at all. It's only easy if you win them. Do you know what I mean? If you win the flag, fucking easy draw. So I like this here because this stage here, they've got 5 games to really iron it out. And then another top 4 team comes at them, and Carlton then can really ascertain where they are as a football club. So I've got them 3 and 4 here. That's 5 out of 8. Pretty good start. I'd take that. Do you know what I mean? I expect it to be more, but as a Pompar score, I'm happy as a pig in excrement. And then 9, we come to the Doggies. Now, this is an exciting one, isn't it? Because the Doggies, you'd say are weaker, but this is a side that traditionally matches up well with us. We match up well with them. And for me here, this is a really intriguing fixture draw here because I see a lot of the Doggies style of gun, 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 and Collingwood and Sydney. So Carlton have got a real core 3 fixtures here where I think we're kind of being looked after in the avenue where we're going to be against sides that play similar and it goes up in echelons. Do you know what I mean? Up in echelons who are all cluster goal teams that can really put the pressure on the scoreboard in a short space of time. And that leads up again in this block of 4 with Melbourne. And again, I've given it a pass score of 2 out of 4, which would take us to 7 out of 12 wins, so 7 and 5. So, do you know what I mean? 7 wins, 12 games. That's how that running count works. So, I like these fixtures as well. I think this is a really good thing coming in. Just really now you've hit your straps. Usually 8 games in, that game plan is rigid. It's ironed on. We know what other teams are doing. And this is a really good chance to get out of these fixtures and see what the top teams are doing. So if someone will have added something to their game plan that you won't know about by now. So I think that's a really entertaining little fixture job. I'm looking forward to this part of the season because I think if Carlton can get 3 and 4 out of here, or 4 and 4, dare I say, I think you'll really know. So this is my prediction from here, right? If it's 1 out of 4, it's making the 8, right? Just making the 8. If it's 2 out of 4, it's going in the 8. It's really will be cemented in the 8 and potentially a final. If it's 3 and 4, Jesus, we're going to go deep. And if it's 4 out of 4, flagwood bound. That is it. We'll come back to that then. Then round 13, this is the bye 4. The bye 4. So we're going to be really halfway and we end the bye really nicely. We're going to end with a bit of momentum with 2 very winnable fixtures against 2 sides that historically, they're always tight, good games for the opposition in Gold Coast, but good games for us when we were shit in Essendon. So this is a real chance here to put the dagger into Essendon and then right some wrongs against Gold Coast and know that you've got 2 sides here where it is always game of the round, isn't it? Hawthorn and Freo, they're 2 sides that when we play them, they're always crackers. They're always people coming from behind. They're always chase and chase and chase. And I think here, I'm looking at 4 and 4. I've gone bold here. I expect them to have that break, go away, watch videos, and come back real hardened. But that would take us to 11 wins out of 16. So, Pom's pass score. And then I think we've got a really positive wet sail run home. And I really like our run home because you want to get some momentum, particularly in this stage here. You want some momentum going into your final 3. Now, ideally here, Carlton are starting to rotate a bit, like we see the other clubs do. Just a little bit of rotation, an extra week's rest for a player. Do you know what I mean? And really make sure at this stage, you should be, hopefully, touch wood, we are in destiny situation. We're controlling it. If we're where it says there, 14 wins out of 20, do you know what I mean, as a predicted score of what's potentially, that's what we should be going. Support Adelaide. Do Do you know what I mean? I'd expect us to run them close. They're going to be tough. I expect them to bounce back, but more than winnable. And these are really good fixtures for Carlton because then you've got Eagles, and Eagles I think will be poo. So I think that goes into Collingwood, and then it's about really harnessing this game plan of what Collingwood are doing. We know Collingwood are going to be I think they're going to be a little bit better than last year in the terms of real structure. I think last year they played a lot on heart. I think this year it'll be really ironed on, and they'll be a lot harder to break down, like they were very hard to break down last year. So this is about harnessing it and getting that round 20 win against a side that you need to knock out the 8 for you to get in. You need all these sides, Doggies, Collingwood, Brisbane, all the top 8. I'd be going into them games with the mindset of we have to beat at least 3 of them to get the points off them to get in the 8. Then we end with St Kilda. St Kilda are going to be a little bit of a grey matter, really, aren't they? Because we don't know. But at this stage, we will. So I've gone 3 out of 4. I'll allow a drop there. And then the run home is cushy for Carlton because the last game where you should consider as maybe not favourites will be the Demons. And as you can see there, I've got us 2 out of 3 finishing with 16 wins, which may sound ambitious. I don't think it is. I think that should be Carlton's mental target. 16 is a healthy number. 16 is very, very, very top 4, top 5 territory. It's a strong result. We want a positive percentage, and that is what it's going to tell us. Ending with Gold Coast and then GWS. By this stage, you'd imagine Gold Coast will be in and around the 8. GWS I don't suspect to be. I expect them, like I say, that 13, 14, 15 position. So that's where you run over the top. Do you know what I mean? You finish on the flurry, go into the finals, and happy days. So that is kind of how it looks in my mind. I haven't put a hell of a lot of thought into it. Gone with gut and I've gone with logic, but I really like if we break it into the 4s and then the 3, that we've got real structure there in how to build a bit of momentum and build a little bit of continuity going into the pointy end of the season, which I think we lost last year. I think we lost a lot of the initiative because of some of our poor results. And it would have been nice to be in a structured position to go, right, this is what we need to do. And this is what it's pretty much all in our hands now. What we need to do is really build and make sure, because otherwise, when these games become like that Gold Coast game, if that game's a must win, you saw what happened at Adelaide. You can capitulate quite easily under the pressure. So it's really important for me, my 3 things I'm looking for this year, and let me know in the comments as I'm talking what you're looking for. But the 3 things I'm looking for is really consistency between performances. I don't want to see 10 out of 10s and 1 out of 10s. I'd rather see a 6 out of 10 as the flat measure and maybe not having a 10 out of 10 like them 3 quarters again, like that first quarter against Hawks, and maybe seeing just a steady 7, 8 out of 10 where you win plus 15 every quarter and it turns into a big result. I don't want to see them higgledy-piggledy performances. 2, I'm looking for a bit of continuity in the team from injury, but also from selection in the terms of players really putting their name in and really ironing it on early. I don't want to see what we had in years gone by where players drop out of form. I want to see when they get in there, I want to make it very hard for someone to come back out of that team. Don't want to see what we saw last year with O'Brien in, O'Brien out, O'Brien in, that 3-week period where he was in, out, in. I want to really see players come in and actually earn the 2 weeks. I'm not saying give them 3 weeks. I want them to earn that 2nd, that 3rd week. And a big one for me in the 3rd is I want to see real proper transition defense. I want to see a real team defense. You can see that the good teams who defend against transition, and how many times does Sinclair killers, Laird killers, off half back? That's a lack of team structure. That's a lack of team defense. They've gone hard to buy them 2 wide players with heavy injuries, heavy engines to stop that roaming of the ring, which is going to help it to an extent. I expect to really see that ironed on, particularly by about round 8, round 9. I expect to see us watch the games and being like, yeah, okay, cool. This is how we defend. We look strong. We look strong here. So they're the 3 things I'm keeping my eye out this year. I'm really looking forward to it, though. I'll be doing the watch-alongs again this year. I can't wait to do that with you on the Blue Abroad channel. We're going to add some watch-alongs here as well, doing other teams. So let me know in the comments teams you want me to do some watch-alongs. I'm going to try and get some buddies to do that with as well. I thought that was really good because I've really enjoyed learning about other clubs. Stay tuned. I've recorded a load of interviews this week. We're pretty much all done now, so they'll be coming. But let me know what you think. And if you want me to do this for your team, let me know. We'll have a look. And maybe this could be the way that we do the ladder predictor. Who knows? It could be a little bit fun for us. But let me know. Have a great weekend. Impromptu video because I missed you. Enjoy your day. Pom out.